Manners and respect, family. Good morning, good evening, good night, good afternoon, anywhere you're at in the world. People, things must make sense. And on this page, things will make sense. Now, we have a historical drug bust. We have a historical white powder bust at the Ian Fleming Airport this year. And as far as my knowledge is, when you have something that is historic, that means it never happened before. Something larger than anything you've ever seen before, better than anything you've ever seen before. It never done before. Whenever our law enforcement bust the largest amount of drugs, white powder to be exact, that came into the Ian Fleming Airport, they found at Ian Fleming Airport. I'm not sure if it's just another stash is left over from an overload plane, you understand me, and it was supposed to come back and get it. But we have the largest amount of drugs in our history. And you don't want to think that if you have a historical bust like that, it should be a happy moment for law enforcement and politicians like the Prime Minister who is leading the country. He should be happy. The Minister of National Security and the Police Commissioner should be happy. But look here, no happiness coming from these men. These men don't exhibit any sign of happiness. They would have been out here in the news media doing a press conference, telling the officers who are involved, thanks for the good job, and assuring the citizens of the country that you will leave no stones unturned and you will bring justice to whoever did this, and you will catch whoever did this. You know what I'm saying? But what happened here is the opposite. It's the opposite. Instead of them coming out commending police officers and all the agency that was working, that work on that raid, telling them thanks. Thank you for saving Jamaica. Thank you for taking this off the street. Thank you. We will not stop. Thank you. That did not happen. It seems as if these guys was not happy. These guys are not happy. When you're happy about something, you come out and you cheer. When you score a goal as a footballer, you come out and you cheer. Right? You celebrate. There was no celebration on the historic drug bust in my country. When we see the Prime Minister running overseas, claiming him don't know what's going on, try to seek help from Uncle Sam. People, that's not how it goes. You don't just run go Uncle Sam and claim, say, boy, you run go give Uncle Sam some names. People, I know so you go. Andrew Otis was on a different mission when him come over here. We have FBI office in Jamaica. We have U.S. ambassador to the United States. We have the embassy. We have all type of ways and means how to get in touch and let out them information. Andrew don't have to fly over here go. No. People, it's something different why I'm over here. You hear me? And my take on it is a fundraiser. It's a fundraiser because his trip over here was properly timed when the U.S. ambassador to America, the Jamaica ambassador to America, which I think is a labor right, put on something for him. And we're going to be a guest speaker and give a Christmas speech. That sounds like some fundraiser to me. That sounds like hunting and hustling money to me. These guys are not happy. No thanks to the police, anybody involved in taking the largest amount of white powder off the street. You make that sink in, Jamaica. You make that sink in. And these guys here, and when they say the drugs leave Jamaica, come over here, so come to the US, and the guns leave the US back to Jamaica. But when the largest amount of drug white powder was found in Jamaica, none of these guys said anything. You're looking at from left, the minister of you're looking from left, Police Commissioner Anthony Anderson, Prime Minister Andrew Holness in the middle, and Horace Chang to the right, the Minister of National Security. None of these guys, not one of them came out and said anything. If you guys see anything where they are celebrating the moment when the historical bus took place in Jamaica, if you guys see anywhere where they are celebrating and commending the agents who did this, if you guys see it anywhere, please send it to Carlos, because I'm yet to see any commendation for the hard work the police officers that would bust this get. No commendation, no thank you. There's no happiness. There's no thanks for you. There's no thanks. There's no happiness. As a matter of fact, these guys look like they are pissed. They look like they are pissed. This couldn't get up. They look like they are pissed. This stash got busted. And in my heart of heart, Jamaica have nothing to do with the bus. I think if it wasn't for the United States, that stuff wouldn't be busted. Wouldn't hear about it. If it was not for the United States, we would not hear about it. Because if these guys here don't come out and celebrate the bus, you think these same guys they would have bust it? If these guys don't celebrate the bus, the historic amount of white powder taken off a street is historic. Anything historical is registered, recorded, never happened before, never done before, never seen it before. History. So if these guys here never come out and celebrate the historic moment, you think if the US didn't have hand in it, you think these guys would bust it themselves? You think these guys will take it up the street themselves? Let that sink in. Look what we have here. Big old mess, Jamaica. Big old mess. Big old mess. Our crime problem starts from the top. These men in offices, like Mr. Chang right here, his name is in WikiLeaks. He don't look so good in WikiLeaks. When I go to WikiLeaks, I see Mr. Chang name is calling up an organized criminal, organized crime and all this stuff. And now the man is on the Minister of National Security. Oh, you have that the background there, that the resume, and you still have such a job. If I have a background like that and my resume show anything like that, I would not get a job at McDonald's. Make this sink in, guys. Things must make sense. I wonder what Mr. Andrew Holness tell the US. Did he tell them the truth? Did they know that the things that we are doing in Jamaica? Did they know about it? But you know what? Yes, they know about it. Yes, the US know about it. We got the FBI in Jamaica. We got an embassy out there. And Mr. Andrew Holness never have to come over here, come to do all these stuff, say he's going to tell the US nothing. No. And they want gangs over here. What you do, you start a case in Jamaica and you ask for extradition. You put in an extradition request. You start a case in Jamaica, have your evidence, start an extradition request. But that didn't happen. Mr. Andrew Holness come here on a money campaign mission. He didn't come here for no crime, nothing, people, in my opinion. He came up here on a political fundraising event, because it was right here when an annual, monthly thing was being put on by the Jamaica ambassador to the US. And you know, so the Jamaica ambassador to the US more than likely is a JLP picked by this Prime Minister. You know, the thing set already. So it's a cooked up fundraising thing the Prime Minister have up here, in my opinion, and it was not on a crime fighting mission. However, I wonder if in this snitching process, if the Prime Minister told the US that Mr. Chang here, his name is on WikiLeaks. Oh no, you don't want to tell them that, because the US is the one who wrote it in the WikiLeaks. You understand me? And Mr. Chang's name is in WikiLeaks, dirty, as a crime, basically as an organized crime gang leader. That's what it's saying in, to us in WikiLeaks. Is in organized crime. Our Minister of National Security, WikiLeaks, is saying that he is into organized crime. So we have some dangerous character over government in Jamaica in some very critical spots. So if we want to fix crime in Jamaica, we need to start from the top. What I heard Mr. Holness was saying up here was that the drugs come from Jamaica here, and from the guns from here to Jamaica. I really hope the Prime Minister had came out and did a press conference on the Ian Fleming stuff and the Minister of National Security. But guess what? I think they cannot say a word about it, people. Not a word. Is disgusting. And we are looking, is historical bus, not one word. historical drug bust, white lady, at the Ian Fleming Airport, and these guys are not happy. And it shows. They don't talk about it. It shows. Nobody can talk about it. No commendation to the men and women who carry out this task. Things must make sense. Things must make sense. What don't make sense is that we have a historical bust, the largest amount of white powder in our history. And there was no thanks. There was no thanks to the men and women who carried out this raid. There was no thanks to the different agency who was on this raid. There is no thanks to law enforcement, period. There is no thanks to the Ministry of National Security. Not even Mr. Chang, who is over the Ministry of National Security, was not thankful. Not even the police commissioner, who is over the police, wasn't thankful. Not even the Prime Minister, who is over the country, wasn't thankful that the largest amount of white powder came off the street. None of these guys was thankful. Guys, make this make sense. Manners and respect out there.